talk more about my favorite thing, which is ticket prices to watch sports. Mike Bako, he's the sports editor at dailynational.com and a knowledge of all things sports. Welcome back. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, Phil.
We have a problem, I think, is that, so when I go to games, and I don't know if you feel this way or friends that do, but it's too expensive, obviously. I can't, basketball games are what, 100 to 150 bucks each. Hockey games are 100 to 150 bucks each. Baseball tickets, I mean, even mediocre seats are what, 30, 40, 50 bucks, right?
If you're lucky.
How do we fix this?
Well, we can. The genie's out of the bottle just in terms of this ball rolling down the hill, in terms of player salaries, personal seat licenses when you get into the season ticket holder realm. But we're not going backwards until we see a precipitous drop in attendance at sporting events, which we're not really seeing. As expensive as those tickets are, as expensive as the last row of Madison Square Garden for a horrible Knicks game is, people are still buying those tickets. Now, what you're losing out on is the casual fan, the dad that wants to take his son or daughter to their first baseball game or their first basketball game. They're priced out. So that casual fan who looks at that ticket price, thinks about parking, thinks about all the other things he'll have to buy, overpriced beer and hot dogs and food at the ball game, looks at that not as, let's just go out to the ball game, get a couple of $10 bleacher seats, a couple of beers and a couple of hot dogs, and then we make a nice day of it. They're looking at a $300 investment if they're going for a family. So that casual fan, that fan who becomes a fan for life, by having those experiences, that's what the leagues need to watch out for. That's the fan that they might be losing with these high ticket prices.
So I'm one of those fans. I have been a season ticket holder to the Seattle Mariners for nearly 10 years. And every year I downgrade my package to go to less and less games because it's gotten too expensive, right? And I've talked to the Seattle Mariners about this, and they tell me this, is that they're trying to offer more nights where there are big discounts. Bring your family day, bring your dog day, bring your cat day, bring your rabbit day. And they got all these fun events, right, to try to bring down the costs. And I look at the numbers. You know this too, is that average attendance at most, if you take out the Yankees and Red Sox and the Dodgers, at most MLB games has dropped every single year. How can they not care about that?
Well, what they care about is that they're getting that influx of TV money. So at the beginning of the year, there was a big story that came out. The Cincinnati Reds team president, also the son of the owner, Cincinnati, a bastion of baseball loyalty. That's the team, the big red machine, everything that goes into it. For many years, they were the first game that was played on opening day. The team president said, what else are you going to do? Who else are you going to root for? Well, guess what? The Reds aren't that good this year. They're averaging about 14,000 fans a game, but they still get that national TV money. So before they even play a game, before they even set foot on the field, they're getting tens of millions of dollars. So that covers a lot of player salaries and all of those things. Yankees, Dodgers, Giants, Mets here with an influx of Steve Cohen money. Those teams are going to skew the average ticket, the average attendance numbers. But you're right. Some of these teams that are just completely non-competitive, Baltimore Orioles, for many years, the Seattle Mariners, but now with some of their younger players coming back. So it does ebb and flow. There is still the nostalgia of baseball where on a summer day, you're still going to go to the games, but it's across the board. If you are a competitive team, you're going to see your attendance numbers go up, even in cities where if the Cincinnati Reds put a good team on the field next year, they're going to see their attendance go up, but fans just don't have any sort of appetite for going to see bad teams, whether it be basketball, hockey, or baseball.
What about teams moving? I mean, look, in fairness, if it wasn't for the crappy attendance in Montreal, Washington, D.C. wouldn't even have a Major League Baseball team, right? And they're now, did you see what's going on in Oakland? There's nobody in the stands, and they're thinking about moving to Las Vegas, too. So are these cities who don't invest in big stadiums and big suites and corporate sponsors, they're all going to lose, whether it's hockey or baseball or NBA, you name the sport, a few cities benefit and the rest are losers.
A lot of these stadium deals, if you will, you're talking about the Oakland stadium, there's a stadium to be built right there right on the bay very, very much similar to what the Giants were able to do in San Francisco, but it's not getting past city legislature. And with that threat of moving to Las Vegas, the fans have just said, we're not going. You don't have a real competitive team. We're just not going to go. There's always that carrot of cities like Las Vegas, like Charlotte, like Austin, where they may want to move a team. So as long as those carrots are
Mike,
out
I'm
there.
out of time.
All right.
Do me a favor. You tell those damn teams, you bring down prices for all of us. Thank you very much. Next up on the show.